It is my favorite topic this week. This week is all about organization. I happen to be very type A. I like things a certain way. They need to be done in a certain order. And when my life and things in my life are not in balance, I feel out of balance, and therefore I'm not as productive as I probably could be. Today we're gonna conquer all that. Today is all about organization in life and in business, and we're gonna focus all of this great energy into good, positive vibes towards our business so that when we are working, we can actually get more accomplished. So get ready, get set, let's go. Hey guys, I am Jacqui Duran, independent Scentsy consultant. Another week, another amazing video. And as I said in the preview, this week we are talking all about organization. And yes, it truly is, oddly enough, one of my favorite topics. Organization for me is like numero uno in almost anything that I'm working on, whether it's my blogging, whether it's my career, whether it's my business, whether it's just at home with the family. Everything is organized, and that creates this really great focus for me. When things are organized and in place, I can truly put more energy into something. Have you guys ever had that moment where you're like, oh my gosh, I've got like 45 minutes, I need to get some work done? But what ends up happening? You spend the majority of those 45 minutes finding where everything is. Like, you can't find your planner, or you're looking for your catalogs. Oh my gosh, I don't have anything labeled. Or you need to look through your testers and make sure that you've got a full set, or whatever it is that you're doing, you're just not quite prepared. So you end up spending more time preparing and organizing for your project than actually working the project. Okay, I am a non-organizational survivor. I have done this. I have been there, trust me, probably more times than I like to admit. But overall, I really try to keep myself and give myself some good organization to try and combat a lot of that. So for me, yes, things are chaotic when you have the career and the kids and the family and working your business in between all of that, and schedules and life going over everything. You truly have to be on your A game. So I think that it truly is beneficial to take at least one time a month, maybe 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, whatever kind of works for you and your business, is to sit down and really just get organized, okay? And just because you get organized once does not mean you will stay organized, trust me. If I had a magical organization wand, I would share it with all of you. However, I can tell you that I can organize once a month, and by the time it comes around to organize again, I'm a mess. And why is that? That's because I'm working my business, right? I'm grabbing things here or there. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot I'm all out of labels or whatever. That's when I kind of sit down and reassess where I'm at. It also helps to keep me very good on my business supply budget. So by taking that once a month time to sit down and maybe just look at my business supply inventory, right? How many catalogs do I have left? How many, if I use showcase brochures, how many showcase brochures do I have left? Do I have product lists? Do I have monthly special flyers? Do I have some Scentsy Go flyers? Do I have some host and join flyers? Do I have order forms? Things like this. You can find it very helpful to actually make yourself a list of the most frequent business supplies that you use, and then just make a list. And that way, once a month, you could just simply go down your list and check your inventory. Easy, right? It sounds simplistic and it sounds like, oh, well, duh, why wouldn't I be doing that? Well, trust me, when you're in the everyday chaos of working your business, sometimes you forget to do those things. So our first thing is once a month, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna take some time and we're gonna organize our workspace. I actually have my own office space, and I can tell you that when I first started Scentsy, I didn't have like an office space dedicated for that. But I also work from home, so I telecommute for my career, and then I also work my Scentsy business. So I have my office space set up, but it truly can get chaotic, it can get disorganized. And so by taking that time to organize it out, get rid of old things. I don't know about you guys, but we just had a catalog change not too long ago. How many of us still have a stack of old catalogs? I still had them on my desk, okay? Now, I spend money on business supplies, right? So I don't like to waste money. I like to try and get as much as I can out of my business supplies. So if you do still have old catalogs, product lists, showcase brochures, whatever, go ahead and take those. Print yourself out some labels. At home, if you have a printer, go through whoever you use for your printing needs, or just write Post-it notes, that's okay too. And go ahead and stick some notes on top of those older supplies and use those to pass out when you're out and around, okay? You can use the fun sayings like, I'm old, but I have a new friend, or anything like that you can just kind of say, this is an old catalog, but contact me for a new one with your contact information. That way you can still get those old supplies out of your way, but you're also not losing money because yes, you did spend money for those supplies in one way or another. Once you've got your office space organized or your working space, whatever it may be, like I said, I didn't have a full office space for the first probably 2 years of my business. I ran my business like out of those rolling carts, okay? Those drawered carts with wheels on the bottom, and I had all of my supplies and the bars and any stock that I had, I just had them in those, and I would literally wheel those around. So it's okay, but it was still an organized piece of my business. So again, whatever kind of works for you in your space, in your business, think of different ways that you can still get organized. So don't use the excuse of, oh, well, I don't really have a place that I work my business. Yeah, you do. Even if it's on the couch in the living room, make yourself up maybe a little organizational cabinet that you can roll around on wheels, or even one that has a handle. Something that you can just keep yourself organized with. That way when you have time to work your business, you aren't spending all of that time getting your supplies ready. Next up, and this is a fun part to organization for me, okay? Truly the fun part. Now, I have gone through my different spells. I have gone through how to get organized. I have used planners, I've used to-do lists, I've used online systems, I've used spreadsheets and Excel, a whole bunch of different ways to stay organized. And yeah, all of them are great and all of them have their good points. But guys, I'm gonna be the first one to admit, those ways were not working for me. And I knew, and especially as we were starting out a new catalog, I was kind of hitting my own reset button. What are some things that I can do differently to be able to stay on top of the things that I want to stay on top of? I personally have a growing team, and when you get a growing team, and even if you don't, you want to be able to have a scalable model. Something that regardless if you have one person or if you have 50 people underneath you, you can duplicate the system. I truly suggest that you guys find the method that works best for you and your business. For some of us, it's the planner. For some of us, it's an online system. For others of us, it may just be pen to paper and a notebook. That's okay too. It doesn't have to be fancy. What I have currently started doing is I have started bullet journaling. I know it sounds silly, and it's one of those things that I always wish that I had time for. So as I was kind of looking for different ways to keep myself organized, I started out with a notebook at the beginning of the year. And I started every single month, I would write down just an overall view of my team. I would also write down goals. I would write down promotions that people got, things like that. But I was finding that yes, I was writing it down, but almost in the back of my head, it was like, oh, what am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I had to keep prompting myself the things that I was forgetting to do. And they were important things to my business, like remembering to do things, okay? So by being able to try and tone myself down and keep myself accountable, I wanted to find a better system. Like I said, I've looked at bullet journaling for a little while now, and I've wanted to try my hand at it. I finally decided I'm going to do it. And let me tell you guys, I have found more joy, more organization, and just plain old happiness from bullet journaling than I have from any other organizational system that I've tried. And trust me, I've probably tried them all. So if you're not familiar with what bullet journaling is, it's kind of like a random notebook. However, it's organized to keep you accountable. To bullet journal, it's very, very easy. You don't need a whole lot of supplies. You don't have to buy something fancy. You don't have to have a lot of stuff. You just need a notebook of some sort. You can get any kind of notebook. I would try and look for one with lines. You can even find different notebooks that have just the dots, so it almost looks like graph paper, kind of. But I opted just for a regular notebook. My local craft store tends to have these for $5. So $5 to give it a try and see if this method was gonna work for me. Best $5 I have spent all year. So what I've started doing is setting up at the beginning of every month, kind of like the starter page, right? So I've got my month at a glance. I'm also using this for all areas of my life, right? Like I said, I organize my household too. Do you guys do that? Hopefully you do in some shape or fashion. If you've got a financial budget, if you've got a cleaning list that you do, chores, things like that, kids' activities, you can truly organize everything into the same journal. Don't think that you have to have multiple systems for multiple things. I was that person. When I had my planner, for some reason, I kept telling myself, well, my planner is for my business. And so I would focus on my business, but then, oh my gosh, over here, I've got my budget I need to take care of. And what about my bills that I need to remember to pay on certain dates? And when are the paydays? And when are the days off of school? And things like that. And so again, I was looking in different places. By keeping it all together, my life runs all together, right? Why not put it in the same place? So this bullet journal also goes for my life in general. So I've got my month at a glance. I have an index that I put in there for my tasks that are going to be completed. Just kind of like a little key or an index as to what things mean in my journal. I've got my weekly cleaning list in here. Then I've got for my goals and my notes for my business. So I'm a pretty transparent person. You guys can see what my goals are. I am aiming for these goals. How am I gonna stay accountable though? I created a daily habit tracker that was basically just for business. Now, I told you, this is the bullet journal for my life overall, right? I have another habit tracker for my sleeping log and things like that. So again, it's still comprising all of me. But when it comes to working my business, these are the things that I was tending to forget when I was just simply writing things into a book. So even though it was taking the step of writing things down, I wasn't really formulating a how I'm going to do this. Do I want to promote to director? Yes. How am I going to do that? I didn't really know how to put that down. Some of the ways that I'm able to put that down are to truly just track my habits. What are the things that I want to become just true to life, right? What are the things that I want to make sure that I'm doing on a daily, on a weekly basis? I can quickly fill this in. So some of the topics that I have on here is to check my team wholesale volume because I have a team, so I want to keep an eye on where we're all at. Check for promotions in my downline. Follow-up work, I want to make sure I do my follow-ups. Recruiting, booking, answering Facebooks and direct messages. Oh my gosh, you guys, that is the worst for me. But now I'm reminded to do it. Answering emails, doing team activities, posting on my team page. Yes, again, it's one of those things that sounds just very simplistic, but it's one of those things that gets lost in the everyday shuffle. At least it does for me. It's like, oh, I need to remember to do that. Oh, I need to remember to set that post up. This is looking at me in the face every single day. I'm gonna share a PDF version of this down below. So you guys can feel free to utilize this daily habit tracker to also keep yourself accountable in your business. If you are up for an organizational challenge though, in your life and in your business, I highly suggest to give bullet journaling a try. Again, all it takes is a notebook, a pen, maybe a fun colored marker, but give it a try and see if it works for you, because that's truly for me what was missing in all of my organizational items. I like to be organized. I thrive better when I am organized, when I can sit down at a glance, see what's going on, remind myself to do, yes, they seem mundane, but all of these things, doing them daily, these are all things that are helping me to actively work my business. And when you're looking to promote and to grow your team and to build your business, doing these daily activities and slowly bringing them into habits, these are the things that are going to make you a great leader. I hope this has given you some inspiration. Feel free to share this with your team and friends. Don't forget, you can go ahead and check out that daily habit tracker down below. Give me some comments. What are some things and ways that you find that organization helps you out? What are the best ways that you find to organize your business, your life in general? And don't forget, guys, make sure you're subscribing, because every single week is a brand new video. So until next week, peace, love, happiness. Bye.